about the VOD and the silver screen. Kevin and Tom and Joe know all there is to know, from masterpieces to deep fried tacos. And if the movie sucks, you might hear them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude, this is Real Spoilers, episode 840, Brick City Battle Buddies.
Yeah, my favorite game.
So I guess let's go around the table and everyone can introduce themselves. We'll start with Joe.
Oh, this is a Clint Eastwood thing.
Oh, we're just gonna talk to a chair the whole time.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep his. We'll put him up on the screen the whole
Do
time.
the AI Joe again.
I'm Matt.
There we go.
This is Kevin.
And this is Tom. So before we dig into the movie du jour, let's do some shameless plugs. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you're there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. Like the page, join the group. The group, if you are looking for it, and why wouldn't you be, is called the League of Show Sharers because we are hoping you will share an episode. People who were kind enough to share an episode last week include Librarian Cynthia, Gabriel Lugo, Tom Dowdy, Travis Tewitt, Julianne Jordan, Ralph Tribble, Richard Krotzer, Tammy Lynn Powers Betts, Chris Magic Man, Heather Sachs, Ken Holtzhauser, the Kryptonian Orphan, Colby Mack, Geek to Me Radio, Dissect That Film, Mike and Oscar, Nostalgia Cast, Spoiler Piece Theater, Ryan Terry, Kostov Banerjee, I hope I'm saying that right.
Well, that deserves a song right there.
It does.
Yeah.
Matt Naglia, Ronnie Castle, and In Session Film. So thank you very much for sharing an episode. And don't forget, if you'd like to support the show, we would like you to support the show. And we would like you to support the show even if you don't like supporting the show, just to be fair.
It's fair.
Transparency is important. So you can do that over at Patreon, patreon.com/Real Spoilers, where you can get all sorts of bonus content, and we like you extra. And then finally, you can watch all of these over on the YouTube, because why wouldn't you want to look at us?
That's the great question, Tom.
Yes. And there's all that. Let's dig in to a Minecraft movie, or if you prefer, a Minecraft movie.
Well,
Fancy.
first off, we had Matt on the show because he is one of the leading experts in Minecraft.
Pro gamer. Yeah, and I was glad that you did that. You know, I see you guys talk about comic book movies. You have no idea what's going on.
Well, we'd have to have a comic book expert on the show to do that.
You watch some Valentine movie. Probably none of you ever kissed nobody ever in your whole lives. So
Just
it's
each other.
Sure, well, and not out of love. You know,
No,
Just
just out of
obligation.
Speaking of
necessity.
the Patreon, patreon.com/Real Spoilers.
That's where the kissing happens. So I'm glad you brought a pro gamer on. You know, someone I'm mining redstone. I'm down in those putting the things together, and I got
Crafting, if you will.
all the references. Nothing slipped by me. So I think you did the right thing. And if a reference did slip by, I don't think it would have changed my opinion on the freaking movie. So I don't think if we say something that's like that wasn't funny, it doesn't make sense to go, well, actually, if you watched Notch's vlog from 2009, blah 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 blah. If it wasn't funny in the movie, it wasn't funny. You know what I mean?
No.
Sorry, I was waiting for you to say, I don't know. And then I was gonna...
I know.
You know? Oh.
I know.
That's the secret to the internet. It's just claiming you know whether you do or not.
Because it's going to happen. We're going to say, yeah, I thought that shirt was a little too teal, and then they'll go, it's a Pantone match to Steve's shirt from the game.
So
well, if there's anyone that knows about Pantone matches,
I've matched some Pantones in my day.
Hey, my father was a printer.
I know, and I have a printer. We're
I
all
know.
experts.
It's all about PMS numbers. Thank you very much. So, I've never played Minecraft. In my defense, it looks dumb and boring.
Well,
Is there?
it's not dumb or boring. I mean,
Clearly
it's,
not. People love it.
It's become a
just-
worldwide phenomenon, and
Yeah.
Microsoft bought it for $2 billion, I think. I mean, it has so many players, and you can. It's really a game that is about creativity. I mean, that's why in the movie, Steve, Jack Black's character, is pushing about, you can, create anything, and the sky's the limit with what you can build and do, and the worlds that people build in this game. I haven't played it a ton, but my son, who is now turning 16, but when he was like 8, 9, he was really into it, so we used to play together. And the worlds people create, I mean, seriously, these structures, which they allude to in the movie, they show you these huge structures of different things people have built. And it's a really cool game. Like, if
Yeah.
kids are going to play games, this is problem solving.
Does Minecraft have gameplay? Like they're showing them like fighting zombies and these pig
Yeah.
people. Is that a thing?
yeah,
in
it's
the
a
game?
survival thing. So,
Oh,
so
I
there's-
always thought it was almost like Legos.
It
but
can be.
It can be. There's 2 modes. So
okay.
survival mode, they ramp up. You can ramp up the difficulty, and it's all about crafting things for survival, building shelter, finding food. If you get hit by enemies, your hearts go down, and you have to eat food. And there's
That's
like
all
medicines.
games. That you just described everything.
Yeah. Oh no, was this The Legend of Zelda? Is that what we were talking about? Hearts. There's
think-
a
I thought
potion.
we were-
Hearts are ammunition, I believe, in the legend.
So we're talking about
Zelda.
Pitfall.
That's right.
We're talking about Pitfall. That's more my speed.
Hey, Jack Black. Do you see the commercial? Have you ever seen it?
It's his first.
His
Com-
first
commercial
acting
game?
role was
Was it
doing a commercial for Pitfall on Atari.
Oh, that's fine. I did not know
It's
that.
a Jack Black who looks the exact same as a little kid, and a little like
Was he a
explorer's
child?
hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a I don't know, 12 or something.
Something.
Like a,
Oh, okay, because I was like, Pitfall came out in like
I know.
I
He's
I didn't realize he started as a child actor.
Yeah, ain't no young man, Tom.
And then there's like mods and things people make to make even more goal oriented types of gameplay.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah. So there's survival and there's free play where you can just build worlds. I mean,
And
seriously.
not get attacked by pig zombies
Yep.
while you're doing
Correct.
it.
Well, that one is not survival, so you can.
Right, you don't have to like fight a
You don't
battle while
have
you're
to do
building
it-
a house. You
exactly,
can just build a house. It's for pussies. Say it's for pussies. So
But you would think, I think if you looked into it, I mean, I know it's not your thing and you don't have little kids, but if you looked into, I think you would appreciate there is a group of people, like a fan community, who has recreated the entire Disney World in Minecraft.
yeah.
You can go on the rides.
Oh wow.
Like-
yeah,
like-
no,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it is
like
impressive
I'm making
what
fun
they've-
of it, but like
yeah.
it like the kids would play it, and I'd be like, oh, that's neat. I'm like, I would. It just did not. Was
not your
my
thing
jam.
for
Yeah.
sure, but it is amazing what people have done with it, and because it's endless. I mean, the possibility. Again, they've built Disney World, and you go on the rides, and they've recreated the tracks and everything.
Yeah.
like you can do anything.
I
Even
there used to be a Xbox Disneyland game.
Yeah.
And sometimes we had it for, I would just walk around.
Yeah.
I would just because it was so much like Disneyland.
it is. No, I planned my trip to Disneyland by playing the game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, to
'cause, I
figure
mean,
out the
it-
paths and everything.
Yeah, 'cause
Seriously.
it was so accurate.
Because we had never been. We just took this trip to Disneyland this year, and Katie and I, the night before we left, and we had played it before, but the night before we walked the park.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, I knew how to get to every section of the park.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
People have made there's like rudimentary programming you can do with the redstone, and I mean it's all in.
You can play Doom in Minecraft.
People have got.
They have programmed building code out of the blocks or whatever.
Different types of blocks.
And they have made a screen in Minecraft where you can play the full game of Doom inside of Minecraft. I
Yeah.
mean, so that is why teachers and parents encourage Minecraft so much, because it's not just like Fortnite. Fortnite's fun and addictive, but it's just shooting each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know I don't want to downplay it. There's a community of fan, whatever. I've played it with my son a lot too. So again, but the point is it's a gun game, and they're trying
and if
to
you like it, you're weak.
and it should be banned.
but they're trying to make Fortnite, and they've started doing this more like Minecraft, where now there's creative mode, which
Right.
I say now, a couple years now, but there's a creative mode where now you can build your own games in Fortnite. You can do coding type stuff where you program, whatever. But Minecraft encourages that problem solving and being able to build anything you can imagine. So that's why it became so popular.
Little Big Planet was the game for me that I saw. I'm like, this is so cool. And then I bought it, and then I started messing around with it, and I went, it's too late. I missed it. I can't get into it.
That's how I am just with video games in general.
Yeah.
Like, I missed the window. Like, I loved Atari. I think I've told this story before. I loved Atari. I aged out of it. There was no video game immediately after Atari.
Right.
And then by the time, like, PlayStation hit, I was, like, 25.
Yeah.
And
Well, you can't jump over Nintendo Entertainment
I played the,
System.
and I played the NES, and it was fun, but I only ever played Mario.
Yeah.
And then by the time I had time, and I got a PlayStation, because it was like I worked in radio, and they would send them to us all the time.
Yeah.
And I took one home, and then I was like, "There's so many buttons, I don't know what to do," and I was just like, "This isn't for me."
I feel like if Nintendo hit really hard when I was probably 16 or older, it's too much of a toy. I mean, I know there's like deep games on the NES,
right?
Final Fantasy, but most of it feels more toy-like.
That's weird.
How do you mean?
Well, what do you mean by toy? There's like, I mean, the games are like, there's a lot of action platformers. Castlevania,
Yeah,
started
but
on
even
the
that,
NES.
I just feel like if
Final
that
Fantasy,
came
Dragon Warrior
at the wrong time, I wouldn't have gotten like all the way in. I mean, I was 5 when I started playing Nintendo.
That's just interesting. Like NES, like, so the games that have come back around today, like the 2D platformers,
and I can play those now.
Yeah,
but I think if those hit big when I was older, they wouldn't have like grabbed me.
Interesting. Well, the thing about NES too is it only has the 2 buttons along with the D-pad, so it's easier to pick up and learn. Like Mario, you can figure it out. One button is jump, and you hold down the other to run. So like
it was very simple.
Yeah. So if you were gonna start, that one would be it. If you were to start on PlayStation, you have the top 2 buttons on each side. You have the analog stick, that came out eventually. You have the 4 buttons here.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot.
And I think Minecraft is kind of the same way. Like when because I've played it, but if I look at that like, well, if I'm gonna put time into this, I should just learn how to code and program.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I do it in Minecraft?
Yeah, it's a lot. So the game, I agree, it keeps you busy. And like, if you were not into games already, I think that there would be a kind of a steep learning curve. Like kids growing up,
and if you don't have friends that also play it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that would be hard to be like, I play Minecraft by myself. Steve did, I guess. So,
but.
So to the movie, I've never played Minecraft. I know nothing about Minecraft. If there are in-jokes or Easter eggs, I get none of them.
Yeah, that's a good
Tons
perspective to have.
And so I will say this movie was stupid, delightfully stupid.
Yeah,
I had no desire to see this movie.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna hate it, and I was like, this is really dumb fun.
This is dumb. I'm excited because it sounded like Matt didn't like it, and I'm very excited to talk about it. Katie and I had the best time watching this movie.
I get why someone wouldn't like this movie. I would never. I would never like try and talk someone. And no, here's what you didn't get. I just was like, it was just stupid.
It was silly fun in a good way.
It hit me in the right way, and I was just like, oh, this is fun. This is. And here's the thing that really surprised me. This movie has cash grab written all over it. And I would have thought Jack Black and Jason Momoa would have both been like, you're giving me how much for 12 weeks work for this thing that's probably going to be forgotten? Sure enough.
Oh,
fine.
God, they were all in,
they
110%.
Were all in. And that opening montage with where Jack Black's giving you the backstory, and I turned to my wife and I was like, is this a sequel? Did I miss something?
Yeah. Right.
Like, is this a sequel they're catching us up?
It's like the beginning of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Like they just truncated some other movie.
Giving us the recap of a whole other movie that they didn't film.
So I think it's genius for what this movie is. I think what they did was genius. The editing and the pacing of this movie is for the generation that plays Minecraft.
Yeah.
Okay? There is no fat on this movie. They jump around even... Normally, I would say too quickly.
Yeah.
But it's a kids movie, and you're talking about kids that are used to boom, 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 YouTube, Minecraft, build this, play this game, Fortnite, whatever. They're just used to it. So, like, when they were like, hey, I've got an idea, and then all of a sudden they're dancing and singing and distracting him. There was
Right.
no time of like, how do we get there?
Right.
What song are we gonna sing? Let's rehearse. Like, you know what I mean? They cut
Yeah.
out everything. But for this movie to keep it flowing and entertaining, it just never stopped. I never felt bored during it. And, you know, kids movies are hit or miss. Like, you can have kids movies that are just for kids, only kids. And then you have movies that are like high level, like this was somewhere in between. You know what I mean? It's not the
Yeah.
best movie ever made.
Like Toy Story is a movie that's for
Exactly.
adults and children.
Exactly. And this
Yeah.
movie definitely has the silliness geared more towards kids, but it also was having fun and made me laugh enough to where it was entertaining. I mean, this is the Jared Hess. This is the director of Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre. Like silly movies, right? And so giving him this kind of budget with this kind of cast and this property to run wild.
Yeah.
And like this movie was projected to make $80 to $100 million domestic, and then it opened to 50 something on Friday, and it's now projected to make $150 million domestic. Like this is going to open up the world, I think, to Jared Hess to finally get above, you know, doing the
Yeah.
little
Sure.
artsy,
Right.
but like comedy, whatever. Like this movie's going to be huge, and yeah, I had fun. But Matt,
Yeah, Matt, by all means, piss all over it.
First of all, I do think it's interesting that it's making. It seems like it missed the window, and I know Minecraft is still huge, but there's like a.
It doesn't seem like it has the buzz that it had maybe 10
Right.
years ago.
And I guess that's not true.
I think
Just
it's probably maybe it's hit that second sweet spot where it's been around long enough now that there's nostalgia for it. And
Oh,
there's,
sure,
There's
yeah.
parents who played it with their kids, and now maybe their kids have kids.
Yeah.
And it's like you know.
I saw kids walking in with creeper pattern jackets and
Yeah.
Minecraft is huge. I mean, that's the thing is if you don't have kids that are in the right age to play it, you might not understand the appeal, like the mass appeal of it. Fortnite, I think, certainly has taken over. There's Fortnite, there's Roblox, and there's Minecraft. And Minecraft, I think, is certainly the one that started it all. And then kids have kind of moved on to these different things. I think there's limitations with Minecraft being that it's all blocks, right? And so with Roblox, even though blocks is in the name, but Roblox can look like anything. It's not
Right.
just blocks. And Fortnite certainly is like high-end 4K, incredible looking graphics. And so you can build now with their custom worlds. You can build anything in that. And then you have like what looks like a AAA 4K amazing looking game. But
Oh, I have AAA.
Oh, you have trouble.
Yeah.
See, you
Oh,
get
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I get it. I'm a middle-aged man.
a real
Kevin. Of course I
gamer.
have. Of course I have AAA.
So I think that there's more options, of course, because when big companies see this thing sitting here, Minecraft, they're going to go, well, where's our Minecraft? And so they have more options now. But I think it's been around for longer, and there's still a huge player base, even though it may not be as big with all these others out there. But the point is, like, if you have kids that are in that sweet spot that want to be creative and build things, like it is backpacks and bedspreads
Yeah.
and stuffed animals and costumes and hats
Movies.
and
Do you think they called
Video game. They should make a video
Oh.
game.
yeah, right. Minecraft the video game.
Yeah.
Well, there is the Telltale.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a Minecraft game based on Minecraft.
Yeah.
And
Tales
that's
from
weird.
the
Yeah.
whatever Minecraft. Yeah.
Do you think they called it a Minecraft movie instead of like the Minecraft movie so they can do a totally different?
I think so.
you know-
I don't think they wanted to be beholden to it, and I also don't know that they. I mean, of course they wanted this to be big, but I don't know that they knew it would necessarily take off. So I
Right.
think they wanted the ability to tell a different Minecraft story.
Because now it's
Now I certainly
sequel to
it
this.
will be a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But right, they could have just gone Block Tales, a Minecraft, like another a new
Right.
different one.
Absolutely, yeah. If this didn't work, they just get a whole new cast, and this is
And if this cast wants too much money, they just get a whole new cast.
Just bring the kid back.
Yeah.
Now-
he'll be affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, I thought this movie was extremely silly, but just like any Jared Hess movie, right? I mean, but it's a Jared Hess movie with huge names and a huge budget and a gigantic property, and like, I don't know. I mean, he just did his thing that he always does, but it
On
wasn't
a bigger scale.
on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't like, oh, you got all this money and you have no idea what to do. Like, this guy's made movies. He's been around, right? He just never usually gets this type of budget. And so I think easily he could have blown it on, and just, but I think this movie's exactly, the audience was riotous. I don't know if that's the right word. Like, it was like
Sure.
raucous audience. You know, it just they were having fun. Like
I saw it on Thursday night. That's
Yeah.
when I typically go to the movies. And so there were only 3 other families in there, and they were 3 of the douchiest families I've ever contended
bummer.
with
Okay,
in my life.
okay.
Like they were just like having full-on conversations, and
Cool.
not even like this, but like this.
Oh,
Well, the
that
movie's
sucks.
loud. They
Yeah,
play
and
those. You can't even hardly talk anymore in a theater.
At the end, like 2 of the kids, you know, on AMC you have like the wall separating each row, and they were just
I
like
don't. What's an AMC?
pounding. Well, it's a theater that actually shows movies.
Oh.
And they were just pounding on the wall for like the last 5 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, are you orphans? Like, where are your parents to shut you up, you little trophies? Like, Jesus.
They can relate to the film. There's orphans in the film. So.
Yeah. So after our experience last week that I went to the Marcus Theater with the terrible people talking the whole time, like I didn't even say it on the show last time, but like Katie had to yell at them to stop talking. Like it was a bad crowd. One of those where they just
Oh,
talk
so
during
she
the whole
can
thing.
talk, but they can't.
I was like, good for you, Kate. That was awesome. Because I was getting annoyed, but you know me, I can generally tone it out. But
Yeah.
she said, will you shut up? She goes, this is a movie. Like it was
It's not your living room.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, you know. But anyway, so
Until you get shanked in the parking
well,
lot.
I know, and then there's always that where you're just like, but people.
Well,
are
you were to
crazy.
Alamo. I thought Alamo stopped that.
They
That was
say
at
they do.
Marcus.
Oh, you was
That's
at
what I was
Marcus.
saying.
Oh,
That's-
I-
so after that experience this week, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going back to Alamo. And the great thing is, I mean, even though this is a kids movie and there were large groups of families and stuff, like the rules still apply.
Yeah.
At Alamo, you get 1 warning, and then there is no second warning. You
You
you're
get
kicked.
unalived.
Yeah. But it's such a better experience because you know people don't talk, and I was impressed because even for a kids movie, again, you'd think, you know, I mean, they obviously can laugh and have a good time, but it's not just people having answering phone calls and doing all that crap. And so anyway, it was really a good crowd for being at the Alamo on their biggest screen and everything. Did you see it on the big screen, the big show?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, it doesn't matter. But anyway, but it was full. It was packed. People were having a good time. And I just haven't seen that at a theater in a long time. Like, even at kids' movies, I mean, not that we've seen, like, huge winners like Moana 2, you know? I mean, that was packed. But they were having fun during this, and it just shows you how much these kids love this property, and it was laughs the whole time.
You know, I will say to speak on the kids movie verse, it should be good no matter what, whatever. I think that's really a thing that's like gone too far. Like a movie will be bad and people will be like, well, it's just a kids movie. And then it started this whole like, yeah, but kids movies should be good too. And I think it has gone too far.
Yeah.
That like kids like different stuff than adults.
Yeah.
And I do think kids deserve entertainment for them, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're taking kids to go see Doubt and you're going, well, it's a good movie, you know?
No, I agree with you.
I last night I just have to tell the story. Last night I went to see an early screening of The Amateur.
Okay.
The Rami Malek next week's movie.
It looks good. Yeah.
And there was a guy in there with his son who appeared to be about 9.
Okay.
And I was like, you are a piece of shit. Like Minecraft opened this weekend, and you're taking a 9-year-old to see The Amateur? Like, that poor kid.
That is weird.
Yeah. And
Wow,
the
yeah.
kid was well behaved. Like, he wasn't a problem. But I'm just like, I can't imagine taking I don't know, maybe they saw Minecraft earlier in the day. I don't know. But, like, I was just like, I can't imagine when my kids were that age. I took my kids to see movies for grown-ups when they were young. I took when the kids were like 11 and 7, took them to see The Artist, a silent movie, and the younger one fell asleep.
Oh, it was a punishment, but
But
you
the
took 'em.
right,
but the 11-year-old was like, that was really good. I
Yeah.
didn't think I was gonna like that. But like, I also took them to see the movies they wanted to see.
I know.
Like, I just,
That is weird.
Tell your kid, you go, oh, so a movie is about this guy's like so badass, he gets revenge. Like, oh, cool, he's gonna beat people up. Like, no, he does it with like computers.
Yeah.
Sends
Oh.
them a nasty
But-
email.
Oh no.
But to your point, no, I struggle with this too. It's the whole thing about the internet being black and white. You know, it's either good or bad, black and white. for a long time, there were kids' movies and kids' shows that are just silly, and they're not winning Oscars. They're not winning Emmys. They're to entertain kids.
Yeah.
And there are movies that, that rise to the top. There are Toy Stories, most all Pixar movies.
Right.
There are great Disney movies and great DreamWorks movies, yada, yada, yada. The point is, like, you can do both, and some artists capture that, right? Where it's a 4-quadrant hit, and it's an amazing film, and it can be for everyone. But there also can be just kids' movies.
Yeah.
Kids that absolutely 99% of adults will not enjoy or be entertained, but they're for your kids. And if they had a good time, that was the purpose of the movie.
I think it's a different kind of humor that you do grow out of, and you're supposed to. But when you're a kid, you're supposed to appreciate
There's nothing
it.
wrong with that. Yes.
And like that's
it's the old
thing,
fart
right?
jokes. They put fart jokes in kids' movies as a cheap laugh, and as adults, we're like, okay, we get it. I mean, maybe once a well-placed one, fine. But when they, the humor is 4 times in a movie that they farted or whatever, but then all the kids will crack up at it, right? And like that's an example of like that is for kids and kids only.
Yeah.
The
poop joke in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs made me laugh.
elevated. That's the chef's kiss.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess I'm just I don't know if this movie. I think this movie does probably appeal to adults enough, I guess. But
There's inside jokes in this movie that you would never get as a kid.
Man, there's stuff. Okay, it's like when he says like I yearn for the mines. Like that's a meme. Like that's directly a Minecraft meme.
right.
But
which is great is that they seriously went deep dive on the lore. Like, I
yeah.
don't know it. My son Ryan, honestly, I should have invited him on. If I knew Joe wasn't, I would have had him on because like he's a Minecraft player and saw the movie. So, but like the fact that they put all this stuff in there for the fans. Okay, I think this is what Super Mario movie did wrong. I like this more than I do the new Super Mario movie.
Yeah,
Wait,
that movie
wait.
bored the hell out of me.
they made new Super Mario Brothers movie
Yeah.
or Super Mario Brothers the movie
Well, it's
or 2.
I
Is
get
this Super
confused
Mario
on the
Brothers
title.
2?
It's the Super Mario Brothers movie. The
Not-
Super Mario movie.
Not new Super Mario Brothers movie.
No.
Okay.
So
Super Mario Brothers movie U?
yeah, you can only play it and watch it
I
on
don't.
Wii U though.
I can't.
There's a lot of versions. Deluxe.
Can you watch it on
Okay.
the Switch too?
No. You have to
DS,
pay,
you can watch it on 2
you have to pay
screens.
56% more if you want to watch it on Switch too. So
Why would Biden do that?
that movie to me as a lifelong I have home video of me at 2 years old playing Super Mario, right? And so I've not necessarily grown out of that. Like I've grown up with all the different games. I love Super Mario Brothers. That movie to me was, I think, purely a kid's movie. Okay, there were Easter eggs. Don't get me wrong, but the plot is so slight. I think it's just a kid's movie, and you know what? Kids loved it. I think it's the highest grossing animated movie of all time, or whatever, or was until Inside Out 2. Like that movie did amazing, but I think that's a little kid's movie, which serves its purpose. But this movie is for also people that grew up with Minecraft. It had all the in-jokes. It was so heavily like a Minecraft fan movie. But as someone that's only played it a little and not for years, like I was entertained. Tom, who didn't play it, was entertained.
Yeah.
Like they made a balance.
I did not get one in joke. I didn't
Yeah.
know I Yearn for the Mines was a meme.
Yeah. And I
Like,
didn't even having played it, I didn't know that was a meme. I knew some other things were, but see, like, so, but like when he said that, I laughed because I'm like, it's the way he's talking is so ridiculous. And you
Yeah.
get someone like Jack Black, like he talks in this movie in a way that no one in real life talks like, except for maybe Jack Black if you met him on the
That is
street. But
A thing I'm not sure about. I feel like Jack Black seems like a wonderful guy.
oh yeah,
right.
I think he seems like a great person.
But I also feel like he's a guy who's like cadence and speech has been like imitated a lot,
Yeah, like a Sandler.
kinda. And it's like I don't know if I think it's like I don't know. I don't like it.
You don't. Oh well, yeah. And if Jack
I am-
Black rubs you the wrong way,
I am
then-
very indifferent on Jack Black. He's made a few movies that I've liked,
Okay.
but by and large, I don't care
And
for his
I
output.
think there is a lot of comedy in this movie that is the like saying more words, more adjectives is funny. Like
Yeah.
I hit him with my Jeep Grand Cherokee. Is that funnier when I hit people with my Jeep Grand Cherokee? Is that funnier than when I hit people with my Jeep or hit people with my car?
I do. I see. I think that.
Specificity is
I think that
funnier.
was
I
funny
don't-
because no one would normally say the model of their car, and when she says that, to me, that's funny.
I don't like it.
I mean, but that's just a comedy preference,
It
right?
reminds
That's
me
not,
like and I think that's like, I mean, I'm putting this to specific stuff, which of course it's not, but like that Anchorman Will Ferrell I got punched in the right kidney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and it's I don't know. I think
that's funny.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but if it's this is not meaning that like, hey, it's funny, so everyone has to
It's
like
not
it, right?
funny.
Like,
I am saying it's not funny.
oh, you are saying it's
I
not.
am saying
okay.
that.
But
They're wrong.
I subscribe to the school that specificity is always funnier. If you're going to make a joke about a candy bar, you should say Snickers, not candy bar.
Well, I think it. See, now I think it's a contextual
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, we don't have you on here for your humor, Matt.
Good, because nobody likes it.
But okay, so like to me, the Jennifer Coolidge parts were the worst part of the movie.
Oh,
I thought
no,
they were.
I thought that she's on this date.
I liked it.
It's
And,
funny.
I thought that was funny. I
Like-
know it didn't really go anywhere.
That's what
but-
I mean. It
yeah.
was the least necessary to where if you cut it off
Oh,
completely,
yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
changes.
Ooh,
So-
you know what though? I will say,
Yeah.
in the very middle of the movie, they do a thing where the sister is like, you should have never been born or something. I don't know. And then he's like, you gotta encourage his creativity. And there's like this whole moment, kind of that felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, was she ever saying he shouldn't be creative? And I feel like they never really go back to it.
Yeah.
I do think that this movie, the editing of it, the pacing of it, because I think it worked, but there were parts where they had to have cut a bunch out because they do hop around quite a bit.
There's a scene at the very end where Jack Black is they're in a room looking out at what's going on.
Yeah.
And they cut to Jack Black and he's holding a piece of toast.
Oh.
And they never
Address.
reference toast. And then they cut away to a different scene and they come back and then he like sets a piece of toast down while they look out at the window and
Interesting.
and I pointed out to my wife, I was like, excuse me, there was clearly something
Yeah.
else here because he's holding what looks like a piece of toast for no reason whatsoever.
Unless that's a Minecraft thing where you
Maybe.
make toast,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do think there's stuff cut out to where, but to its credit, again, I think for people that weren't necessarily interested in Minecraft, Tom's a great example where it's like it
I am
moves.
always a great example.
Well, I didn't say only in this case. Yeah, that could be alluded to. But I think there's stuff cut out. But real quick, let's get into the story of this thing. I mean, not that again, it's not the most complex, amazing story or anything, but
I couldn't follow this thing.
Yeah, was it kind of complicated for you, Matt?
Over my head.
Was it a little?
I was like, what is going on?
It was game over his head.
They got to get the thing or the bad person uses it. Oh, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
It's a MacGuffin chase.
Yeah, I mean, it's your standard stuff.
I love the fact that the orb was a cube.
That's funny.
I thought that was very funny, and the fact that they would poke holes in the world like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's,
You know what? I'll say in that part I was talking about that I thought was kind of out of nowhere and never got back to it when he says, I'm a better sister to Henry than you'll ever be.
Yeah,
That was funny.
it's funny. Yeah, real quick, let's just list out the main players here. So you've got Henry and Natalie. This brother and sister moved to a small town. Their mother died, and so now she's taking care of him. She gets a job at their potato chip factory. Again, the humor is very just goofy. It's very silly, random humor, but the town is centered around this potato chip factory with a huge potato mascot.
Which I was just going to say, kids are psychos. Like, kids are psychotic. No Hollywood dweeb would have ever made Skibbity Toilet, and it's the biggest thing in the world.
Right.
And right, I guess I'm just saying, like, being insane is, kids love it.
Yes, kids are weird. They're kids, right? And that's the thing is kids don't have any, what's the word? They're not embarrassed by is someone going to think I'm silly? You know what I mean?
Right.
Their creativity, and that's why it's great to nurture that when they're kids and can be kids, because eventually you grow up and all you get to do is a dumb podcast as your outlet,
yeah.
right?
Talking about kids movies.
Yeah, right. And so it's great that kids can be creative and be silly and not judged for being silly. But anyway, so Henry and Natalie moved to a small town centered around this potato chip. I mean, everyone's goofy in the town. It's just a very silly thing. In the town lives Jack Black's character Steve, who is the Minecraft Steve, lived there, but we see in the opening that he has been trapped in this the Nether, I think is what the world is called in Minecraft. It's from the game.
It's the Nether is a thing. I'm trying to think if that's the Nether, if that's a different place, but I think you must be right.
I think it is, again, not Minecraft experts here, but he gets trapped there because of this orb. He puts the.
Wait, hold on. Let's get the engagement. So they're in the I think they go to the Dark Realm. It's called.
Okay.
They take the Gleam cube is I believe
Gleam
that's
cube?
Yeah, down to the Dark Realm.
The upside down.
That's right.
That is a good point. If we got an army of Minecraft people commenting on this, smart move, Matt.
Yeah,
See, we have you for your strategy.
So Minecraft, correct? This is sort of like a knockoff of Roblox, I believe.
Yes, that's what they call it. Is famously the Roblox.
A Roblox like
a poor man's Roblox.
Yeah.
Also, it's used pretty much exclusively by pedophiles.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is true.
Is that right?
And if you're not a pedophile, it will make you one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Steve, as we alluded to, like, he has a dead-end job, and he finally gets to go to the, watch the movie. It's very funny. As a kid, he can't go mine because there's no kids allowed. Very obscure, goofy humor. He finally gets into the mines, and he finds this cube that has this magic holder. Again, if any Minecraft listeners, we don't know the terminology, they're going to be yelling at us. But you put the cube in the thing, and then it opens the portal.
Lime and the coconut.
And then
you mix them both up.
You drink it, but it allows the human world to enter the overworld, which is like the Minecraft that you see with the green trees and the water and the the basic Minecraft world. It's a portal between Earth and that. But also there's a bad guy in the Nether. The bad guys from the Nether who has a very silly dance. She dances silly and people make fun of her, so now she wants to destroy the earth, right? But anyway, she is trying to also get this so that she can take away all art and creativity, which, again, like, the point of Minecraft is to be creative and make whatever you can imagine, and she wants to shut all that down. So she captures Steve and his dog Dennis, and she captures them in their jail, and she's gonna do whatever, take over the world. And Steve is able to free Dennis, and he gets away with the orb, and he goes through the portal, and he puts it under Steve's bed in the real world. Flash forward, his house has been sold. It's in a storage unit, and Jermaine Clement meets Jason Momoa's character there, who is like a washed up gamer who dresses like Bret Hart, which I thought was really funny. Very sad Joe can't be here for this. Like, his persona's based on Bret the Hitman Hart. He's got the glasses and the pink jacket with the whatever, but he's stuck
Fringe.
in the fringe. Thank you.
Fringe.
Oh, Surrey.
Yeah, on top.
It was on top. Yeah. So he basically is stuck in the 80s. He was a young arcade gamer. I won't say the name of anyone he could be comparable to as to not get sued, but
it's a ripoff of Pixels is what it is.
There you go. He's like a Peter Dinklage type Pixels character. We'll put it that way. And anyway, so he's this
nobody Cubert in this movie though. So.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
I don't remember that
at the end of the movie. What's so weird is, like, is it Josh
Gad as a trophy? He gets a woman as a trophy, but then she dies, and then Cubert at the end of the movie turns into her?
Whatever it is, the movie definitely alludes to that Josh Gad is Cubert.
Who looks like a beautiful woman at this point, but
it's a Cubert.
And through the whole movie, Cubert has been like this nonverbal little cute
but it turns
guy.
into a woman, but it's like it's Cubert.
And Josh Gad doesn't go, this is
I think I blocked it out because my Twitter handle is Roger Cubert.
I know.
I just didn't want any part of it.
So anyway, but he basically, he's like, he goes by, he's Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, and he peaked in the 80s because he beat this arcade game and had the world record. We'll flash forward, and that he can only ride that success train so long, but I mean, this is like modern time, and he's still trying to coast off that he beat this beat 'em up arcade game. So anyway, he is trying to buy a storage unit to see if he can buy some old games. There's an Atari in there apparently that Jermaine tells him could make some money off of. He buys the thing. There's just a bunch of junk in the box, but that cube falls out. He takes it back to his shop. Meanwhile, the the kid Henry, I think is his name, is going to his first day of school. I like that she makes a tater tot pizza and says, "Bring this to school to make friends." I like the little homage to like the llama or whatever, like Tina
right.
tater tots. I mean, there's Napoleon Dynamite stuff all over this movie. It's just fun little homage. But anyway, he brings it. He stops by. He sees this game over video game place. And
by the way, I didn't know this was directed by Napoleon Dynamite director
Jared Hess, yeah.
And it is crazy how much tater tots are tied to Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
When I saw that in the movie, I was like,
"Stop eating my tots."
That's Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
They did it.
They did it. Yeah. What other movie? I mean, what else would you associate with tater tots? What pop culture reference? Like, I think that's them.
You talk about pizza in a movie, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about anything else.
But tater tots.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think pizza's been in movies before them. Though.
I don't know that that's true.
You think if in The Amateur they bust out a pizza, you're going to be going, that's
Donatello.
Ninja Turtles reference. All right.
Yeah. Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza, right?
Dang. Okay.
But anyway, so he's this has-been washed up game. He's got the eviction notice. I mean, this again, the movie isn't reinventing the wheel on screenplays, right? There's all the basics there. Eviction notice on the letter he opens up. I mean, it's the traditional thing. So he's hard up for cash. His business is in danger. Kid stops in there, leaves his tater tots. Very funny scene where this guy's like, "Hey, I'm to try to take money." He's like, "I'm gonna be a life coach."
I know that's very.
He's like, "So you can win at life." And the kid's like, "How does one even win at life? How do you?" He's like, "Shut up, kid."
Well, he says that's what I charge for.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's very funny. It's like, yeah, you basically want the entire thing that I charge for.
Kind of funny.
And he's
very
like,
funny.
it's funny.
Funny maybe.
My favorite little moment was when his jetpack goes awry and he knocks Chuggy the Chip off the top of the factory. I love the fact that they used a model to do that and not CGI.
Oh yeah.
That it's then you see it's like a old school model.
Yeah.
That cracked me up. I'm weird.
The effects in this movie are, I feel like, all over the place.
I was going to get to the effects.
Sorry. Hey, man, sorry.
Yeah. Let's
I don't have a run of show in
we're
front
on
of me.
Kevin's schedule.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's get through the characters real quick.
It's been 12 years of this. So I'm glad there's finally someone speaking out.
Wow.
Let's just get through the characters real quick. So anyway, he's hard for cash. He says, "Leave the tots, whatever." But anyway, eventually...
Take the cannoli, leave the tots.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah. So anyway, the point is he's got the cube and the cube holder, or whatever that thing is called. Please comment in if you remember the name of the thing. Puts them together, opens a portal, and they are like drawn to the mines wherever where the world portal is. So he has to get there. Meanwhile, he's destroyed the company's mascot where his sister works. The real estate agent that moved him into this house has like a mobile petting zoo. It's just goofy characters. They all get together and converge on the mines, and they get sucked through the portal, and now they are in Minecraft, the overworld, what you would see as your traditional Minecraft. And the story there is essentially Jack Black, the bad guy, says, "I've got your dog Dennis, and if you want him back, you're going to find the cube for me." So he's after that. They're trying to, I don't know, what are they trying to do?
Oh, can I talk now?
Yeah, please.
The cube gets broken, the outer part.
Yeah.
And they need to get home.
And they want to get home.
And Jack Black needs to... I feel like they kind of set up that maybe you don't know if he's going to be good or bad.
I think they do in the very beginning, but they quickly let go of that. It's something that, like, the whole time you could be wondering, is he really working for her? You're led to believe that he's like, to get Dennis back, he will get her back the cube. And when they finally meet up, and yes, they're escaping from zombies. They do the thing like in the real game, every 20 minutes it turns to night, and then all of a sudden that's when the wolves and the zombies and the bad guys come out to get you. So they're fending them off. Henry finds out that this world is like the world of the game Minecraft, where you chop a bunch of wood and you get a little tiny floating cube, and when you throw that down it turns into the traditional box that you see in Minecraft. And he is very creative, and he builds a fort for them to protect them from all the bad guys. So they're learning the rules of it all. Well, Jason Momoa as he's trying to run away from all the bad guys. They end up, I think, shooting an arrow into the cube that he's holding and breaks the outer casing of it, and the cube goes rolling on the ground. But so it's damaged in that way. He's able to grab it and get into the fort. They like break a piece out of it, much like they would in the game, and then pull him through the little viewport and then patch it back up. Steve comes by, saves the day, fights all the zombies. It turns to daylight and they all burn up or whatever. And then this is the part where he's like, I got to get that cube, give it back to me. And they're like, no, we got to get home. And he, I think, kind of spills the beans there that he's like, I'm not going to give it to whoever. Like, they dispel that he's a bad guy pretty quickly, if I remember correctly.
I don't think it is there, but I think we know. I don't know, like, because I think.
Well, I just remember it being like a subplot where I'm like, oh, is he going to turn on them or whatever? But I feel like
I never thought that for a minute.
I think you're supposed to.
But the movie sets it up like that.
Because later on he goes, I think it is later, and he does basically just says, I was never going to give it to her. And
okay,
it's
I
very
think I think when they're town, he says it.
Something.
But pretty quickly, you can kind of sense that
it is, because this movie is very quick. Like, it does, it gets through it. Yeah. I still think it could have been, I think we could have got to Minecraft World quicker. I think we could almost cut out Petting Zoo and Sister and just like go.
I think they wanted an adult that wasn't a doofball like Jason Momoa. I think they wanted a female protagonist that kind of had her act together. You know, she's there to protect her brother. She's not as silly. He's the inventor, kid, creative guy, you know, goofy. Like, you know what I mean? I think they wanted what's the word? They wanted a vessel for the viewer. They wanted someone that you could relate to.
But I mean, I don't know.
But the characters of the sister and the Petting Zoo real estate agent, plot-wise, could have been.
Because then you also have, I thought it was interesting when they're walking with Steve, and he's like, hey, I've lived here for 30 years, and we're going to go here, we're going to go here, we're going to go here. And then she's like, we need to get a real map. Like, why?
He is a map.
This guy seems to know
to
what
split
he's
them up.
doing.
Because,
And
definitely. So, but I will say, okay, so now that we've introduced the main characters, Jason Momoa in this movie, playing against type for Jason Momoa, I thought was delightful.
I think it's the kind of thing that's like, this is why Vin Diesel sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he would never do this.
Right.
Jason Momoa will play like his bad guy in Fast and Furious was so atypical action movie bad guy, right? And in this movie, like, Jason Momoa is this very like tall, muscular, ladies man, whatever, like cool guy, right? Is how he's generally portrayed. But he will play the goofiest guy that gets beat up and says the dumbest stuff and does the dumbest things. Like, he loses over and over again in this movie. And to your point, that's the thing. Like, Vin would never lose in one of his movies. And I just kept watching it thinking, like, I can't believe Jason Momoa is doing this. Like, and he's having fun. He's all in. And I just thought his performance for, like, he knew what movie he was in and he came to play ball.
Like, I respected that he played it so weird in Fast and Furious, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I liked it here.
Yeah. And I can see that. I mean, he was going for the Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow thing.
But it just
if
felt
it
like
works,
he was
then
in a different movie. Like
yeah.
And sometimes that can be fun, but I know a lot of people loved it, but I also hate those movies, so I don't go in with the best sensibilities.
It was a big swing for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he will do stuff like this, and he's secure enough in his masculinity where he doesn't think that, if someone sees me get beat up,
if I pretend to get beat up, everyone will think I get beat up.
Yeah, it's so silly. It's like it's a movie. So I just, hats off to him. I mean, Jack Black, I think, always pretty much gives it his all. Like, he's being Jack Black. You hire him to be Jack Black. But yeah, I just thought the dynamic between Steve and Garbage Man, that part where they were flying and had to go nose to toes, I'm going to squeeze for your protection.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Me and Katie were cracking up out loud. Like, I don't laugh out loud at a lot of movies, and this movie got me to do it a few times, but that whole thing was so ridiculous and absurd. I thought it was great.
Agreed. It was just dumb.
It was so dumb
way.
in a funny way.
Yeah.
It's dumb in a way where I don't know if you guys like it as much, but Your Highness I always laughed at like this. It's that same, the humor's so dumb.
I've never seen Your Highness, but I feel like my version of that is Year One, which is a universally hated film that cracked me up.
It's the same kind of dumb humor. Your Highness, directed by the director of Halloween, ends and kills.
Oh.
I think I made the right call then.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. A friend of mine, it's like those are his favorite movies.
I know. Yeah, I wish we had someone on here
Yeah.
to positively talk
Yeah.
about those movies. But yeah, that was David Gordon Green before he started doing the Halloween stuff. And
That's why it's called the good old days.
the good old days. But yeah, so it's a MacGuffin chase. The whole movie's a MacGuffin chase. Now to the special effects though, I thought they were great because here's the thing. What was the movie we were just talking about with Snow White?
Yeah.
Snow White has really, really, really good CG, but there's still characters that they don't look like real people, right? Like it's not like the dwarfs in Snow White are just short people. They're not little people. They're like they're like the cartoons
magical
brought to life.
creatures.
It,
Yeah.
movies like that in a weird way, right? They feel almost like it's a Roger Rabbit situation. Like that there's a cartoon walking around
in a
the real world.
Yeah, exactly. So the CG is so good, but the characters are supposed to be like the cartoon brought to life, so they just don't fit in with the physics of a person. And so even though the CG is really, really
Or
good,
Chippendale, maybe that's a better reference point for you.
I love Chippendale. It's
Okay.
directed by Akiva, man.
You know, I
Come on.
love Chip, but I don't really like Dale all that
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Do you know which one's which?
No, I don't care. I know that there was like a chip tooth or something, but I don't care.
Chip has the brown nose like a
Is that
chocolate
what it
chip
is?
cookie.
Yeah, okay.
That's how you remember it.
Dale has the red nose, like a
Red
fan
nose.
of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
See, that is a Jared Hess joke if I've ever heard one. I think you like his
No,
humor
I think it
more
was
than-
Matt
I
said
did
that
that. I
just
said
now. Why would you?
You don't know my name?
I hope we get a comment about this.
So there's parts where they're like walking out into the world and like and maybe it was, but their feet on the grass. I was like, that looks like a set. Like perhaps the ground is real.
I definitely think there's a
And-
mixture of practical and CGI because there are some parts that definitely like they physically
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, I don't think this
Agreed.
is just green screen.
And I'm
because it
watching
looked-
him
Yeah.
pet the dog, and there's a little bit of, but I mean, pretty much you're just watching his fingers with the
But
fur.
that's what I'm saying, right? So my point was like with Snow White, the CG is so good. Disney has amazing animation, but it doesn't fit in the real world because the two items just don't blend together. This one, you have everything's made of cubes. The dogs are made of cubes, right? The wolves are made of cubes. But like in the real world, for some reason, the animation perfectly blended with real life.
Well, but then toward the end, there is a part where like it looks like the green screen around like Jack Black is very noticeable.
I didn't notice that.
And then there's a part where they're going through the portal, the big blue portal, but there's no like light casting on them from the portal. They have no blue like anything.
Okay.
Were they holding toast?
Oh, because in the game, toast will cancel out any reflective
it's
light.
like a blue
Yeah.
blocker.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah, all good. But then I don't notice CG that much. I mean, I'll watch a whole movie and people will be like, "Oh, that looked terrible," and I don't know. It seemed fine to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, oh man, I don't trust myself ever either. Now I feel like if I went back and watched it looking
probably
for it,
would be.
I'd just be like, "Oh yeah, it looked fine. I don't know what I was talking about." But I feel like there were parts where I was like, "Oh, that looks like a green screen."
I don't know. I was impressed by the way that the blocky nature of the game translated to live action so well. I thought it blended in. I thought the interactions with the characters, like you were saying, whether they were touching objects or fighting people or whatever, like everything to me looked really good about the movie. I don't know. Usually CG bothers me more, but this one I thought they did a good job of lighting it and everything.
It did all happen toward the end as well. And I mean, I know they don't make movies linear.
Like sequentially.
Well, maybe they were trying to rush it before the tariffs, so
right.
the animation got real.
But I
rush.
could see him going, let's front load all the really good looking stuff, do that big fight scene, and then
once
we'll
they're
start.
dialed in, they're not really looking with the same critical eye. Yeah, for sure. That would make sense.
The real estate agent is played by Danielle Brooks. She was on Peacemakers, what I knew her from. I never watched Orange is the New Black. So
Tasty.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
tasty on Orange is the New Black.
She
One of
plays
the main characters and a great character on that show.
Okay, she plays Adebayo on Peacemaker. She's really good in that. I thought she was funny. But yeah, they just don't give her character too much to do in this one. The sister is played by Emma Myers. It says she's in Wednesday. I've not watched that, so I'm not too familiar with her. But I mean, I just don't think they give those two characters too much to do. Like the action adventure stuff, for the most part, they give to the three guys that are running around. And I wish we
don't do DEI anymore, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, is that right? They cut it out. I just wish that. I mean, there are a couple scenes where they finally figure out how to fight, and I do think it's funny that they do the thing where like the two women are walking and they're like nonchalantly, like they've just totally figured out this world and the zombies and everything, and so they're basically just like there's a zombie following them and they're just like hitting it behind their back and like talking while they're, you know, it's funny. Like they give them a couple of scenes, and the big fight scene they get to fight, but they don't give them as much of the silly stuff, right? Because they pair the kid Henry is with Jack Black and Jason Momoa doing the goofiest role of his life, and so like they get a lot of the fun, wacky adventure stuff. And I wish the two others could have been included in more of that.
And it feels like there's a version where the sister is being more like, you gotta quit being creative.
Yeah.
You can't be making all this stuff. But that doesn't really happen. So there doesn't feel like there's like an arc with their relationship.
Yes, in a typical movie like that, you always get but it's not safe. I'm here to look out for you, and you know, you gotta whatever. And she tries to do that. She's like, you gotta get back home and whatever.
Yeah.
And like this world clearly is a world, you know, I'd not to jump around too much, but for the most part, the way the movie puts it, like in the end, it's like this world is a world where Henry probably could live like Steve did for so many years, because you can be creative, you can make whatever you want. And in the end of the movie, they're all going to go back to the real world and leave Steve behind, because Steve's like, nah, I got a lot more building to do. But they make it a point to be like, you can make the real world use
your creativity in the real world.
Yeah, and make it a better place. So like instead of being lost and trapped in a video game, which I think is a really good message, because we talk about people spend so much time on things where you could put it to better use. And video games aren't bad. I like video games, whatever, but maybe there's like draw the line somewhere, right? And so like play video games, have your time to relax or whatever, but you could also bring that to the real world and help people and build things. And so I like that the movie puts that message where it's like, bring your talents back to the real world. And even Steve in the end, where he was going to stay in Minecraft in the overworld, he's like, nah, I'm coming with. And now he can go bring his creativity.
Hey, do you think those bullies probably still would have thought that rocket was pretty cool?
Yeah, they would have.
I thought they're going to cut that wire. It's not going to do anything. Everyone's going to make fun of him. But then it shoots off. It blows up a whole thing. Everyone would have been like, that was
pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think the nerd bully trope is a little overplayed at this point.
Yeah, nerds is cool.
I just think we live in a different time where, they do a thing where like the kid, like I do like all the Evil Dead zoom in close-ups to all when he's making the rocket, it's the Evil Dead.
It was funny
Sam
when
Raimi.
the kid said, my dad said math has been debunked.
Yeah.
That was good.
Right?
Yeah,
that was good.
funny.
No, those are the
funny.
type of lines that I think see that this movie has a lot of humor in there that are throwaway things that kids don't mean anything to kids, right? It's just, but there were some good ones. But I do like that. Like, what are you, some kind of rocket scientist or whatever? He's like, being a rocket scientist I would love to be. I love that response, right? And then he builds a rocket propelled jetpack thing. And the bullies of course cut a wire to try to make him look dumb, and that's what causes the chippy whatever to fall and get destroyed and all that. But yeah, I just like that this movie is like, it's cool to be creative, and hey, these things you learn, much like with Minecraft, you can bring into the real world, problem solving, coding, all that stuff, which is true. It's not just like a propaganda for Minecraft. I mean, that's the thing. Kids are learning these skills.
Actually, coders are losing their job at record numbers because of AI, but go on.
But that's
you said they could use their creativity like coding, and I was like, but coding is
this movie isn't
to cease to exist because they're just using code to write code.
That's why we need Minecrafters to get up off their butts, stop playing games, and be human coders. We need real world coders, Tom.
But there's no jobs for
if
that.
AI did
make them,
couldn't I just play more video games?
True, you could just make your own endless games. There's a movie about this.
Steven Spielberg, AI.
That's true. I was thinking, did you ever watch that Electric State, the $340 million movie on Netflix?
No.
That the Russos directed
No.
with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt's in it. So I watched this movie not even knowing Chris Pratt was in it. That's how much they advertised it. And I'm like, oh, and he's
also
playing-
got a weird wig that so when you do see him in an image, it doesn't look like Chris Pratt.
He's like playing the brother from Onward, like in real life. Like you remember in Onward, Chris Pratt is the big brother.
Right,
He
right,
drives in a van and like rock and roll metal, all that stuff.
Yes.
Like he's playing that exact character in real life in this, and he's also Peter Quill. Like, I mean, he's just being Peter Quill. Like he's now fallen into that kind of thing where he's just movie's okay. It's got a bad rap. It's a lot of people calling it the worst movie ever, whatever. It shouldn't have been $340 million, but like it's okay. But the whole thing is they took the what was the movie with Brad Pitt when they're what was the movie with Bruce Willis, Surrogates, where they're like people are just at home being slobs in their chair, but they're piped in and they live the life of their surrogate that goes out and does all the stuff.
That sounds great.
Well,
I love that.
With VR and AI, I think that's what we're getting to. But they basically like take that to the next level where now you're not even controlling a robot. You're just in this like AI. Anyway, but that's the point is that like I think the world is leaning more towards like all these things are starting to become true with the technology we have. And I think maybe it would be better not to be stuck in a video game. Maybe like go touch grass, as the kids would say online, right? A little bit.
I'm surprised it wasn't in this movie.
I know, because that would be a good callback. But yeah, it's a big adventure. They're trying to get the cube. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I thought it was really fun. Humor was good.
I think if you think you'll like this movie, you'll like this movie. Like if you want to see it, you should see it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
You have, according to the box office. I mean,
Well, right.
I would also say if you think you might not like this movie, there's a 50-50 chance you might end up liking it.
Sure.
Tom is the litmus test to that. Seriously, it's
as someone who didn't like it, and I didn't like it. I'm not saying I was disgusted.
You didn't like hate it.
Right.
You were just like meh.
This is the best version of a Minecraft movie I could imagine coming out. Like, they could have made a much worse. I mean, kind of like the Mario movie, and that was whatever. But like, that's more what I thought. I guess this would be. It has more redeeming.
Yeah, I think
qualities.
I agree. That's the thing, because the Mario movie is a movie that I really wanted to like, and I mean, I don't just sit around. Here's the difference. I don't sit around online hating on the Mario movie. It's a kids movie. Whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I did? I moved.
I was bored. I moved on.
I moved on, and I'm way more of a Mario fan than you are, right?
Yeah.
But I still don't spend my energy on hating a movie. It was disappointing to me, but I recognize they made a little kids movie. Like, I have friends with little kids, and they loved it. That's what kids movies are for at the end of the day. I'm not saying that's only what they can do. What I'm saying is,
right.
I think a kids movie, step 1, entertain kids. Step 2, you want to do a bunch of artsy, amazing stuff for adults. You want to be Pixar? Phenomenal. That's great.
Yeah.
And if you can make the highest grossing animated movie of all time, which is what Inside Out 2 is, so
you should.
Then do it.
If you can do that, you should.
Yeah,
You should.
it would be silly to not
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
It would
But-
probably be a bad career choice.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great. There's no
Even if it's not what you want to do with your life, do it and then
then
go
go
do
do the other
whatever.
fun to the
Yeah.
rest of it. Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, kids movie, entertain kids. Number 2, if you can make a great touching movie, I think you should aspire to do that if that's what you want. But to Matt's point, there's all sorts of kid movies out there. Mario movie may just be for little kids, and that's okay. This movie, I think, is somewhere in between. It's not Toy Story, but it's not Mario movie. There's enough humor in it for adults. It's fun. The pacing, again, I mean, they definitely cut stuff out. It just moves. There is not a dull moment in this entire movie, even for someone like Tom. Like, again, like for someone that knows nothing about Minecraft, this movie, he would be the one that would be bored by this movie if there was a chance for it. And
Yeah, I would agree. I
you know what I mean? Because you'd be like, what are they? Oh, it's just Easter egg, pickaxe,
Right.
redstone. You know that there's word. I'm sure you could tell what were the Easter eggs. In the
Honestly,
movie.
I couldn't.
No,
but I think that's because I was enjoying the movie enough that I wasn't trying to play the puzzle of like what's what. I was just like,
I don't mean
having fun.
I don't mean a negative way, but I'm just like when you could probably tell that redstone is not a word they made up for the movie. You probably could guess that redstone is an element
I mean,
in the
I
game.
assume that was something.
You know, that's what I'm. So like, there's all that stuff in there, but it's entertaining enough where when they're dropping this, they aren't winking at the camera and being like, "Diamond
So that's
pickaxe."
the thing I think- them using a line as dialogue from a tweet is a little eye rolly to me. We yearn for the mines or whatever. But so the thing that we said about comic book movies and video game movies, I don't think references and Easter eggs change my ratings on a movie at all, unless they're obvious and it like hurts.
It ruins the flow or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's the point though, right? Like in a movie to where they do it well and they disappear into the movie.
And it's
Right.
it's this extra outside fun thing. But
Yeah.
for the film, you should be able to watch it. I think very strongly that films should be like standalone
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
pieces. And that's like when people are like, not another origin story. I'm always feeling like, but this isn't new. Like when you're getting a new Batman or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we can tell it differently, but we need to know this guy's motivation.
They should, in the reboot of Batman, they should just make his parents live. Why not?
Why not? You can do anything.
Why would that change? Yeah, what
have
would that,
have him kill his
Yeah,
parents.
what
Now you're
effect?
talking.
What effect would that have on the character?
So, I think what I don't know.
Do you think this movie? There it is, the famous.
I think this movie does do a good job of. I looked at some comments and stuff, and people being like, "Oh, they said chicken writer or whatever." Like that's a thing. I guess that's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. It seemed fine in the movie for Jack Black to yell that and
Chicken jockey.
chicken jockey. And I like that it does reward fans of the game, right? Which is a thing I think Mario didn't do.
Mario, the Super Mario Brothers movie, the new one, with Chris Pratt, is just, I called it Easter eggs, the movie. That's all it does. Like, it's not a well-written movie with
They
stakes
wrote the
that
Easter eggs first and
Yeah,
then wrote the
they
movie.
just,
Do you feel like
they just plugged scenes together. Oh, remember? Oh, there's Yoshi's, because that thing at the end, the
Right.
post-credit scene for Mario is a Yoshi egg. Okay, well, in the movie, so that they could put in more Easter eggs in there, they had a herd of Yoshis. So you can't tease one Yoshi egg when in the movie you saw 50 Yoshis in a herd. That would have been a great teaser if you hadn't seen a Yoshi. 'Cause you'd be like, Yoshis are coming. At the end of Sonic movie, they teased Tails. At the end, post-credit scene, Tails was in the next movie. They didn't show a bunch of helicopter foxes going around and then be like, oh my God, we're going to see a helicopter fox? Like, it would be stupid, right? So Mario did that thing where they just shoved Easter eggs everywhere. And then, strung the plot together, and there's, willy-nilly, whatever.
It should be like little bonuses for fans.
And
And if you don't know what they are, you shouldn't have even known
to be
what it was.
Yeah. And that's what this movie does. It's packed with Easter eggs, everything, every material, the crafting table, I mean, in the game, you go to a crafting table, you craft a crafting table, and then, or whatever, and then you have to put the elements on there, and they make pickaxes and swords, and like Jason Momoa is like, I can do it, and just throws a bunch of stuff together and gets like a buckets, and they turn them into a weapon. It's just a funny, goofy bit. But like, all these are what you do in the game, and they brought it to life, but they didn't go like crafting table.
Yeah.
They were just like, let's go to the crafting table. Like, so
Yeah, I had no
could
idea
watch
that
the-
was the thing from the game. I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, that's what we're doing.
Right, you could watch it. And diamond pickaxe, so like diamond armor and diamond shields and whatever is the best you can get.
It makes sense.
Very hard to mine. You have to mine a lot
As
to
a
get.
fan of Liberace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to mine a lot to get diamonds, and then you need a bunch of them and different elements to make the armor. So when Steve in his shop has like diamond swords and armor, like that's the most sought after. So it just makes sense where you're just like, oh, cool. But like for fans of the game, they would know like, God, that's the diamond armor, right? But they present it in a way where you're just like, okay, it's just,
right.
Right. So I think the movie handles that really well. Where I bet you there were 50 times more Easter eggs than any of us even picked up on.
Yeah.
But the whole movie wasn't like Mario, in my opinion, winking at the camera like, remember that time there was a fire flower? Remember that time there was a coin box? Remember this time there, like the whole movie is just, remember the time there's Yoshis?
Twice.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I guess that is a Minecraft movie. Let's go around the table and everyone can say where to find them.
They live on Cherokee Street in St. Louis.
Would you also care to give your social security number?
I'll give the first two numbers. 49.
This is Kevin. Follow me on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett.
And this is Tom. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. And, of course, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/realspoilers, where for $5 a month, you get all sorts of bonus content and our undying love and affection until you stop giving us $5. Then you're dead to us. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, Loretta has a nervous breakdown on stage.
Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out.